So with that, let's get started. Lawrence, introduce yourself and Zola as well, and we'll just jump into a little bit of your background and how Twine came to be.
Yeah, thanks, Ward. Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it. So Zola and I have worked together on a couple of startups. We worked on a company called Double Dutch before that was the market leader for mobile conference apps. So if you ever went to a conference and downloaded an app and it was a good app, it was probably ours. We sold that company to Cvent in 2019, and since then we've been working on actually started in 2020 a new company called Twine, and Twine is all about recreating the serendipity that used to happen in offices. So we are building for hybrid and remote teams. And the idea is, how can you recreate some of those magical connections and collisions that used to happen in the lunchroom, in the cafeteria, kind of the elevator, like these sorts of things. So we're an early stage startup. We're 10 people. We've raised some money. So we've raised like 5 million in funding, which is cool. Zoom Ventures is a investor. And we work with about 80 customers, everything from big ones like Amazon, eBay, Microsoft, to lots and lots of universities. So we work with Columbia, we work with BU, we work with Stanford, and then we work with a lot of small SMBs as well, who we have a sort of a self-serve plan that allows them to kind of run these serendipitous speed networking experiences on Zoom. So Ward, yeah, before I talk too much, let me turn it back to you.
No, it's great. And I first met Lawrence. He was pitching to the Sherm Labs competition, which is now, I think, in its third year. And I thought he should have won. If I was a judge, which I wasn't, I would have certainly voted thumbs up for his pitch. But clearly, Sherm saw something that applied to the workplace, and it's pretty amazing. And of course, the big news that we skimmed through just a little last week, because I didn't want to spoil all your thunder, at least big news from my viewpoint, was that Zoom elevated your solution to one of a very select few essential apps, I think they call it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Effectively last Wednesday, 5 million people woke up with a new side dock. It's basically, if you pay Zoom with a credit card, Zoom is trying to reward you with this bundle of what they call essential apps. And these are standard buttons and that show up right on the side. And they selected Twine to be the one for sort of advanced breakout rooms and speed networking. But there's a lot of cool apps in there. Like you should play with the really powerful functionality. Ward, I saw you're using Read as a way to record the notes. That's another one. There's some great ones around agenda management. So imagine having a nice clean agenda that shows up on the screen. There's one called Sesh that we really like that does agenda. There's a little business card thing. So if you can see my Zoom view, I have my name and my title. It's a configurable virtual business card you can put on your screen that has if you want, you can put your location, your bio. It gets a little jumbled, but it's super helpful. And that one is called Warmly. So lots of fun stuff to play with. If you go to the Zoom app marketplace, you can try all of them, but definitely try Twine because it's fun.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the folks that come on Fridays are in the alliances and partnership role, if you will, with the HR tech or HR service solutions, or passionately connected to others in the ecosystem, and that's huge. So the Zoom ecosystem, and there's lots of stores in the HR tech like ADP, Marketplace, and all that. It's like, how do you rise to the top? And you've done that. But before we get into that, just dialing back to this company you sold to Cvent, which I think is now owned by Vista Equity, who owns a lot of HR tech solutions as well. After that, why did you start Twine, and did you pivot along the way? I think you acquired Glimpse or something like that. Maybe just talk a little bit about that kind of journey to where you are today with this amazing news.
Yeah, so with Double Dutch, we were definitely working on serendipity. It was all about kind of like our big insight about the world were that events were like social networks. They were ephemeral. They only lasted for 3 days, but for those 3 days, those were your people. So we modeled our app. Instead of putting the agenda first, we put the people first. It was an activity feed. There were ways to kind of message each other. So it was very radical at the time. So I love that. I love building software that brings people together. And I think when we sold that thing, we wanted to stay in that domain. And then the pandemic happened. And it was like, wow, people are feeling even lonelier now. And imagine you're a new hire joining Microsoft, not working in Washington. You're all by yourself. You don't know anything, and you onboard with this company, and like, wow, that's a lonely experience. So how can software help with that? So that was kind of the inspiration, and we're getting increasingly excited about it. Yeah, it's really like, fundamentally, we believe that hybrid companies are going to win, that they're going to be in-person companies because more time, you don't have to spend hours commuting, and access to talent. You can hire the best person anywhere in the world as opposed to the best person within 30 miles. But there's non-trivial problems to overcome. There's this feeling of connection that's missing, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah, that's great. And that is so important. We do talk about that quite a bit during town halls. So it's great to bring that full circle. And yeah, we're going to we're going to have a little speed networking today with the people that came in just a couple minutes. And I think to prepare for that, Zola, I put a link on the agenda description here, and I just went to paste it into the Zoom chat. It was like, had Sidekick in it and all kinds of stuff. It was super long. So I don't know if you have a shorter one that if anybody needs to, like that information page that you have. I guess it probably still work. Let's see. Just if anybody needs to install it or update their Zoom before we get there, probably now's the time to do it if you haven't.
Ward, I actually think we can keep this really simple. We don't even need a doc. So let me ask you to do this. Do you see the Twine app? Can you open it up?
Yeah. I'll probably have to stop sharing, but just so others can see what's going on. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. So we can't see it, but if you go to the little apps button at the bottom and just tap on that, and then tap on Twine.
Oh, you can't see my screen?
No, Zoom makes it really hard to share your actual Zoom client.
Yeah. You know what? I probably turned it off. Okay. Well, it was pretty impressive looking, I must say, for those that couldn't see it. I'm sorry. So I got a breakout room already created. Do you want me to jump into that, or?
Yeah. So the first thing you want to do, you'll see it says like 10 people have not joined the app. Share it. Do you see that? Go ahead and tap that button.
All right.
And then everybody on the line should be able to, you're going to see a prompt from Ward as soon as he taps the button.
I have a question. Do I need to have a paid Zoom in order to access this?
Nope. Anybody can use it, and nobody needs to install anything except for Ward.
Okay, got it.
Ward, do you see that invite them button?
The short answer, no. I'm on the page where I created the breakouts, but it's not letting me launch that. So
you might have it open, Ward, in the Zoom app. If you stop your screen share, sometimes it helps clear out.
Yeah.
So then in this meeting, if you click to apps at the very bottom bar,
all right,
and go ahead and open up our app from that view.
Okay, I just sent the 11 participants here a link. Did it go out okay?
Yeah, perfect. So if everyone can just hit open, you're not installing anything, tap open. And that's going to allow you to use to participate in the Twine experience. Well done, Ward. That was good. You shared it out.
Stop sharing first thing.
Yeah. And Ward, what do you see? What is your, how many people still need to open it up?
Oh, sign into Zoom.
3 participants are not in the app. And we know who you are. No, I'm kidding.
No, and that's okay. Zola, what do you think? Should we kick off?
Let's kick off. You don't need to install anything. We should all be on this page that says waiting for your host to start. When I met with Ward a little earlier this week, we thought, gosh, what would be a good experience for this team? And the mode that we're going to run today is speed networking. So it's our most basic mode. We're going to run 2 rounds, 3 minutes each round. Ward's going to click a button and it's going to take us all out into this experience. Again, our most basic mode, speed networking. When we come back, we can talk about some more things that we can do with our tool, but we really wanted to get you all into it today. So yeah, Ward, go ahead and click start.
Before click the launch, I guess, I see someone else just joined. Will they have the invite as well, or do I need to send it again?
Go ahead and click that prompt again to
Okay.
send them the invite. It'll send it to anybody who hasn't had the app open yet. But
Got
no
it.
stress if you can't get in. You're still going to be included.
Oh, I see. It sent out direct messages to everybody. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Christoph, you can join too then. That'd be awesome. All right. So I'm going to launch the town hall speed networking, right? And
Hi all. Sorry to be late.
All right, so we're all going to get transported out into matches. So hold on. You don't have to do anything. Hold on to your seat. And here we go.
Upsell
See you all on
prompt
the other
there.
side.
Good stuff. Then I'm past it. All right.
Perfect. Just give it a second, Ward. It'll pull us all out.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I think it almost done moving some participants, it says. All right, everyone who could be matched are in breakouts, it says. So this doesn't show up on the, well, I'm not sharing my screen anyway. Nice. Oh,
all right, Ward, you did it. You sent everybody out. It looks like Larry and I do not have a match, which is okay.
Oh my goodness. Well,
That's,
I went out. I somehow clicked and it went out of Zoom and I had to come back in. So during that period, it probably did that.
Yeah, so it was moving you to your match. So you may have left someone by themselves, but it's okay. And so if you have the app open, you should see a countdown clock, a minute 43. And so what's going to happen is when that clock goes to 0, we're going to automatically reshuffle everyone and make a new match. This is like speed dating for work. I mean, it's that simple. Where nobody has to do anything.
nice.
Ward, what are you seeing on your side?
Yeah, it shows that I took a screenshot for later, but it shows tables and the people that are assigned to each other. Some have pictures, some don't, but initials there. It looks like Larry is assigned with meeting analytics from Reed. Okay, maybe I should turn that off.
Oh yeah,
I was with meeting analytics too.
Oops.
Oh, that's funny. It matched with the bot. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah,
That's
I got
And
matched
how
with
was
the bot.
Andrew? How was the conversation with the bot?
Lovely. I adore having a bot for over for dinner or whatever. But I got out of it because I thought it was just an experiment, so I came back here. But the bot was not being responsive.
Yeah, bots are funny. Like they're not quite there yet. They're still not our friends, right?
Yeah, they're still a work in progress.
I wonder, can I remove that?
But I can see all the others, which is kind of cool. I can see the other people that are meeting. I really like this.
Yeah,
Like,
Ward, there
Katrina
is a way to exclude the
Greg.
bot. And we should have told you, but now that it started, you can't. So someone is going to be the unlucky match with the bot. It's like real life. Sometimes we get matched with
Well, that's
bots.
Larry there now. He's good at talking to bots.
All right, so Andrew, in 5 seconds, you and I are probably going to get picked up and moved into or match with somebody. So get ready, Ward. You just sit tight, and folks will be kind of shuffling around.
I noticed we both went to Georgetown, so that's kind of fun. Oops, he's gone.
Yeah.
All right, what's going to happen to me?
Looks like
I
you're
did
assigned
not.
to Dawn, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Let's see. How do I get into that main room? Oh, let's see here. Room. It's quiet.
Hold on, Dawn.
People.
Andrew's coming.
Trying to. It says I'm not. Okay, let me try again. Huh.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it because
This is
like
brilliant.
the ultimate like test if it works for your tech configuration, anything can work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something strange. I noticed that everyone else is able to schedule meetings on top of this one. So this one has kind of a ghosting appearance. You're meeting on my calendar for some crazy reason. But anyway,
Yeah.
some setting thing somewhere, I'm sure. Okay. I don't know how to get back into that little room, which is an interesting question. If once you get ejected out, how do you go back in?
I Good question. I can ask them when they get back, I guess.
And did he say that Warmly app is part of Twine or something else?
So they got picked up by Zoom as the top 10 apps and are featured now as um,
Very
essential
impressive.
apps. And if
Yep.
you're a paid Zoom member, you get free access for a year to their premium version of these essential apps. So yeah, they're one of I think 10.
Interesting.
Well, it looks like there's about 54 seconds left in the second session, so we'll see. Poor Dawn's there talking to herself.
And I noticed that my account that's free, it says your Zoom account does not have breakout room. It's disabled. But for my paid account, it's active. So that's interesting. So I think depending on what kind of an account you have, it might be a slightly different experience.
Yeah, I think my understanding is that in order to launch Twine, you have to have a paid account, at
Exactly.
least to get the freemium. I mean the premium version of Twine as a Zoom customer. But anybody can attend. Even like I tested, my daughter was on her mobile phone. She didn't even install the app. Just she had Zoom and went in, and she could network. Uh-oh, maybe you got in. I'm all alone. That's funny. How do we get 2 more minutes? Hmm.
Hey, Ward.
All right, I pulled the plug on it, so everybody's back.
All right.
Good job, Ward. Let me add one last comment, and then I'll
Yeah.
turn it over to you. So we have 4 different modes. That's the easy one. You tap the button, everybody goes into speed dating. If you want to do groups of 2, groups of 3, nobody needs to install anything. Really easy. We also have a visual mode where you can set up virtual tables in your sidebar. So imagine the things you used to do in your company cafeteria, you can now do right in Zoom. So imagine having a table for marketing, a table for sales, a table for product, and people can walk to their own table, which is kind of cool. And then we do sort of informed matching. So imagine kind of A/B, like buyer, seller. If you want to match across the aisle, East Coast, West Coast, new hire, old hire, you're able to sort of control who matches with who. And that's our more advanced mode. But Ward, you did great. I'm going to pass it back over to you. That for a first-time host, I think you nailed it.
Thanks. I guess we ended up doing 3 sessions. Is that right?
Yep.
And my apologies for those that had to meet with the Read app, which I just installed the other day, and didn't realize that bot was going to be there. But that's what collaboration is
Ward, I found
about.
it really obtrusive that I was in a private meeting having a really good conversation with Katrina, and all of a sudden we heard your voice.
That's the voice of God feature. That's the Ward found it.
That's
So
exactly
was he
what I was thinking.
listening to me and Katrina?
Uh-oh.
We can't listen. Yeah, Zoom does not let us listen, which is probably a good thing.
Okay.
Totally.
But he could see us because because he can come over and be like, oh.
There's a broadcast button that I tried pushing
Oh.
to apologize to somebody. I forget, but I guess everybody heard it. And
Oh, okay. Because Katrina and I were it was fate. We were paired together immediately. And we were like, oh, it's you. But yeah.
I thought you were going to throw Andrew into our room, and I was just feeling really bad for him.
oh, that's funny. Yeah, true. But
An intimate conversation with the bot. So
right. Yeah.
Well, Lawrence, may I ask a question? So Zoom, do you have a plan for Google Meet?
Great question. So we have a browser-based version, like a web version of this that works beautifully with Google Meet today. And it also works with Microsoft Teams. We are looking at native applications for both Google and Microsoft down the road, but for right now, it's a browser-based one. And I'll tell you right now, Twine is free to use for Zooms up to 6 people. So Zoll will drop a link in the chat. If you want to install it, then you can host your own, press the button, be the speed dating host. So, and it's free as long as you don't go over 6 people.
Okay.
So I love this idea. I actually in teams I've worked on have done icebreakers, and I've had to go research them in advance and be like, oh, let's play 2 truths and a lie. Let's do this. And then we would come in and we would do it. And so you're kind of brainstorming the ideas in advance for us by doing the icebreakers. The only thing that I wonder, and I actually love this, one of the number one reason that people leave their job is their manager. And let's just say I've heard of managers who don't like it when you do icebreakers in meeting because you're not really working. If you're not, focusing. So have you had any pushback about disabling or not using it in a group? Is that just company policy at that point?
It's funny you bring it up. We're working with some very serious big consulting shops that are like, we can't have these silly icebreakers. So we're actually building a feature to turn them off.
Yeah.
But a lot of communities get a lot of value out of them. But the real play is to allow people to customize them. So maybe they're not icebreakers. Maybe they're thematic work questions. And so that's coming soon too. We have this thing called Activity Engine where we're building activities that people can do together. Imagine whiteboards, trivia games. There's lots of things you can imagine happening in different breakout rooms. And we want to build a flexible engine that allows for all kinds of activities, not just icebreakers.
Got it. Yep. I'm not surprised you're getting that feedback. Because it depends on whether the manager sees the value in virtual like collaboration and team rapport. So
Yeah, Zola has a big prospect right now that they've went through all of our icebreakers and they feel that some of them are too edgy for their company culture. And so we had to go to our engineering. We got to pull out these edgy questions. But yeah, it's funny you bring it up.
yeah, and that's cool. Okay. Thanks.
Nice. That's great. Well, thank you for coming on today. I want to make sure there's some time for our next guests as well. But Lawrence, Zola, it's been a pleasure. Congratulations on being pulled up to the cream of the crop there. And hopefully we'll check in again maybe later this year and see how things have been going from your view on the world.
Thanks, Ward. We really appreciate it. Nice to meet everyone. Mike, good luck with the startup. I got Mike's pitch. It's awesome. So enjoy. All right.